What's going on, man? Welcome to another episode of Former Insight Podcast with your host, Maddox, man. Yo, let's get into this, man. Let's get into this right here. First and foremost, the black communities are having civil war amongst each other for some of the dumbest reasons. We always say, black on black crime ain't a thing, it's just crime. That's just a way to not hold yourself accountable. It is something called black on black crime. When a black person harms another black person, it's black on black crime. The reason why it's labeled that is because we live in an epidemic of crime amongst the community, amongst ourselves at an alarming rate, and we're losing each other. So yeah, if something is an extreme, it will be painted as such. So if black people are unalive each other at 95% and record setting numbers every other year, why do you have the problem that is labeled black on black crime versus that actual crime that's happening amongst black people? You're more focused on the label than that crime itself. So let's go right here. We have a thing where we always want to talk about large shootings, right? Mass shootings, I should say. Mass shootings, mass shootings, mass shootings. And I wonder why they don't label this as a mass shooting. I wonder why. This happened in Detroit, by the way.
New information about a tragic mass shooting that happened in Detroit over a month ago.
2 people were killed and 19 others were injured in what police are calling a gang-related shooting. CBS News Detroit's Jack Springate is live outside of DPD headquarters. Jack, you've been covering the situation since it happened. What are investigators telling us?
Well, Amir, when I drove up to that scene on Rossini and Reno, after that horrific shooting, all that was left was shell casings and police tape. Now we're seeing new video and hearing new audio that shows us exactly why police are working proactively to stop these block parties from happening. Please be advised that some of this footage could be disturbing to some viewers.
They was having a house party, and somebody just shot up the house party.
Somebody shooting?
Yes. Oh my God.
A neighbor's worst nightmare, violence and chaos right outside their door the moment this block party reached its boiling point.
How many shots did you hear?
Man, one of them is automatic, it's rapidly, and then it's the return fire is slower.
Okay, I need everyone to just stay down. Tell everyone to stay down.
Stay down. Hey, mommy is okay.
This desperate call came after 2 other residents tried to report the gathering, one of them nearly an hour before things turned violent.
My neighbors, they throwing a crazy block party. It's too many kids. I'm not even sure a bunch of these kids are old enough to drink, but they flood my whole block. They doing too much.
About how many of them are there, if you had to guess?
100.
You hear that? This is the reason why a lot of these states are trying to ban these type of large gatherings without a permit.
First caller you heard from told dispatchers they saw 350 people on the block by the time shots rang out, one of them screaming in agony when this officer arrived on scene. Police identified a group of people wearing hoodies approaching the block party before showing these images of one of the shooters firing into the crowd. Police say they recovered 3 rifles and 6 handguns from what they're calling a gang-related incident. They also recovered a switch, a device that can turn one of these handguns into an automatic weapon.
Wow.
2 lives lost, 19.
2 lives lost. Let me guess. That's white supremacist fault too? Is that white supremacy fault? But wait, I have another one.
Police officer shot a man. This video is all part of the chief's community briefing to bring transparency to these investigations.
Y'all gotta bag up, bag up, bag up.
Detroit police responding to a chaotic scene. Shots fired at a party at Trinity and Florence on the city's west side. Neighbors calling 911 shortly before 2 a.m. on June 1st.
There was just like a massive shootout.
How many shots did you hear?
At least a couple hundred for sure.
Nearby surveillance video captures
That sound like New Year's on the 4th of July. As the recording of this video is New Year's right now. Last night, it sounded like that last night, which I'm not a fan of, but this is crazy. They're having a war zone at a block party.
the sound of gunfire and cars speeding off. The first officer arrives on scene and runs toward the screaming in the backyard, encountering two people. The officer fires 4 shots, hitting one suspect. Someone returns fire. She then tends to another separate shooting victim as another officer arrives.
We need more units. We need more units.
What happened?
Trinity and Florence. Trinity and Florence. I seen one run eastbound between the houses with an AR.
Wow.
We got multiple people shot.
The suspect takes off. Another officer arrives on scene with a tourniquet to treat the man shot by the first officer. He was taken to the hospital for treatment. 8 firearms and 93 casings are recovered. In total, 4 people were shot. Sadly, 19-year-old Imani Peterson, a new mother, would die from her injuries 2 weeks later. An innocent victim at a late-night party that devolved into violence. One of several illegal block parties so far this summer, prompting police to boost patrols and city council to consider banning nuisance parties and unlawful gatherings.
Is that white supremacy for it? Is that white supremacy for it? Where is BLM? I'm going to keep calling out. Every time I see this type of thing going on, I'm going to call out BLM. Where's Black Lives Matter? This is wild that our black people have to live in these type of environments or these type of conditions that we create. No white man made those black people pull out firearms and unalive innocent people to target their target. Nobody said, come here. You better go over there and hit that guy. Nobody did that. That was all on them. What happened to having agency of your own brain and your own body? You cannot blame none of this on white supremacy. This is straight our fault. And when I say our, I mean the people of the community fault. Because the people know who the shooters are, but yet they're quiet. And you wonder why crime don't get solved, and you wonder why things keep happening from the same repeated offenders. Let's see what this black guy had to say, because I think this black guy got some wise words.
All hands on deck. The police cannot do it on their own. The prosecutors and judges cannot do it on their own. CVI teams cannot do it on their own. We need every individual, every leader, every servant, every institution in this city to be involved in addressing this issue of violence in our community. This is the #1 issue in our community. It ain't white supremacy. It ain't just poverty. But the #1 issue is the byproduct of all of that, and that's this violence. We have to address that concurrently while we address those root cause issues. So we have to address them all, brothers and sisters. We should not be here talking about 21 folks being killed. That is not a mass shooting. That is a war zone. Our babies should not be raised and forced to live in war zones. Our elders should not be forced to live in war zones. This is beyond a mass shooting. You have multiple folks shooting. You need
100% agree with that, except for 21 people didn't get unalive. But I see what he was saying. He was passionate. He got hurt or shot up in the situation. But still, his point's still valid. We need everyone on deck. And it's sad, man, that I gotta say this, that there's no reasoning with these type of people. There's none. There's none. We gotta, like that movie Meteor Man, Robert Townsend, when they had the whole community get together and fight the Golden Lords. These thugs, I call them the Golden Lords. They're destroying the community. They got beef with each other, but take it out in public when innocent people just walking by, women and children, men too, walking by with their children, and they're at risk of getting hit with a stray. They have literally no type of care or awareness. So the next time I keep telling people, next time I keep hearing people, no, I'm bugging up right now. The next time I hear people keep bringing up white supremacy for our major issues, I'm going to tell them, shut the fuck up. Because we know it ain't that. It's us. It's the community. We're doing to each other. Once again, y'all remember that movie, Tales from the Hood? The Spike Lee movie? It is a famous scene in Tales from the Hood when the guy Crazy K was in jail next to a white supremacist guy. And the white guy called him the N-word. And he said, what do you call me? And he punched the white guy in the mouth. The white guy said, let me ask you something. Those guys you killed, what color were they? And make Crazy K think, oh, ish, I'm killing my own people. He said, I like you. I like you a lot. Basically saying, you're doing my job for me. Thank you. And that message stuck in my head since a child. Since the 90s. Powerful message, that's underrated message. With that being said, man, y'all be safe out here, man. Later.